So it's not often that I highlight brand new cards for this little series of mine, but well, there's a funky piece of cardboard that I spotted when my partner opened up the Thunder Junction Quick Draw deck, which just captured my imagination immediately, and I haven't seen much discussion around. Pyretic Charge. So, Charge is a 5 mana red sorcery, 4 and a red, which wheels you into 4 cards and then gives all your creatures plus X plus O until end of turn for each card discarded. And well, it plays into one of my true loves of Magic, red go wide decks. Most of my favourite cards in the game facilitate this kind of playstyle. Cards like Mercadia's Downfall, Bedlam, War Cadence, Invasion Plans, and Headliner Scarlet. And well, this thing looks set to join those ranks in my Holger and Rith decks, as well as any inevitable balls to the wall red decks that I brew in the future. And the reason I like cards like this so much? Well, the effect looks innocuous, and yet is absolutely and entirely deadly. Even just discarding, say, 2 cards off of this to give everything +2 +0 can be deceptively powerful. After all, the difference between being attacked by a board of 1/1s and 2/2s versus 3/1s and 4/2s is night and day. And that's not even getting into situations where you don't care about losing the cards from your hand because you're about to push in for a final swing. Casting this from a full grip with, say, 6 other cards in hand may feel kinda bad, but it also won't matter if your aforementioned horde of 1/1s and 2/2s are now 7/1s and 8/2s and killing people. And here's the kicker. I've kind of glossed over it until now, but the fact that it wheels gives a wonderful chunk of extra utility. See, as much as Red's ability to generate card advantage has gotten much better in recent years with mechanics like Impulse Draw and some very powerful rummagers, it does still struggle to keep cards in hand, with Impulse only being temporary and Rummaging being more of a 1-for-1. This means that cards like Pyretic Charge here play a very important role in making sure that these red-focused decks don't run out of gas, alongside its brethren in Reforge the Soul, Imposing Grandeur, and Change of Fortune, among others. This card is just good enough with the buff effect, but the wheel is gravy. Look, I know I'm biased. This is exactly the kind of card to make my little red Timmy neurons fire, but a mid-game advantage piece combined with an extremely lethal game winner seems like a surefire recipe for success. The Krenkos, Anim Pakals, Ginny Fays, and Caesars of this world will absolutely adore this card, and, well, for any red combat deck, this card should at least be a consideration. I also somehow forgot to mention this thing has plot for less than its standard mana cost, which means you can pay 3 and a red, and then exile this and then cast it from exile for free on a later turn, which means that this can easily be combined with other buffs like Mercadia's Downfall and Bedlam, like I've already mentioned. It's insane. And this can also be used in exile decks now, stuff that wants to cast stuff from exile. Your things like pretty much anything from, say, the Doctor Who Teamer precon, or I don't know, Prosper, for example. Plot gives this card so much more utility than I could even describe in the video as a whole, because, my god, this card is nuts.